Also ich würde ja losgehen und die Typen von der Akademie kalt machen. Aber hey, es ist nur meine bescheidene Meinung. Und da. Muss jetzt da die Dunja-Saat hocken? Ach nee, er will ja überlegen.
Do you want some alone time to think? Alright then, Paimon won't disturb you.
Bleibt daneben fliegen und starrt mich an. Ich würde dich nicht stören, ich werde dich nur anstarren. Sie ist immer noch da, oder? Ja, genau. Alter, wie lange hast du denn jetzt überlegt?
The dance of Sub-Zeros is about to begin. I'm going to go watch it.
Sub-Zero-Tanz, ist es schon diese Zeit?
Okay. Why don't you go ahead, Dunyarzad? We still have some other stuff to do first.
Okay then. See you later.
Have you figured it out yet, Traveler? Time is ticking away.
Ich denke, ich habe die Antwort gefunden. Kekse.
Awesome! What is it? Paimon wants to know. Oh, wait, no. Let's meet up with Nahida first. You can tell us both together. This time we're gonna get to the truth.
Okay. Wir gehen dahin, um uns hinzusetzen, um dann wieder woanders hinzugehen, um da dann wieder weiterzumachen, wo wir vorher waren. Okay. Es reicht nicht, dass wir den Tag jedes Mal wiederholen, sondern wir müssen auch noch immer dieselbe Stelle immer wieder hin und her latschen.
Take it easy.
Achso, ja, jetzt kommt es mir dann erst, wenn dann morgen ja schon die Dinger gewechselt werden. Stimmt, es geht ja eine Woche jetzt alles schneller. Dann muss ich mal eine extra Folge aufnehmen. Mit Kokomyzin. Oder wenigstens Dori. Schauen wir mal.
You're back. I've been waiting forever for you two. Judging by the looks on your faces, are you ready to take your Sub-Zero's exam and graduate from the festival?
Ich bin bereit, Frau Nahida.
Okay. First off, have you discovered the hidden truth?
People in Sumeru don't dream. What a strange phenomenon.
Alchemistische
The
Weisheit.
moon, illusions, and
Räume, die niemand
all
ist.
the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common. A lack of human presence. We've already experienced the Sub-Zero's festival many times. Okay, Nahida said the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power. It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace, and it grants knowledge to the people.
Assoziation vorbereiten. Unbewohnte Träume? Was ist jetzt los? Die Wahrheit des Traums.
We are all in a dream. It isn't that the people of Sumeru don't dream, rather the Akasha is taking their dreams from them.
Unbewohnte Träume.
Those spaces remind me of dreams, like the one I had in the Avidia forest, except these have no sign of human presence.
Die Wahrheit des Traums.
People in Sumeru think they don't dream, but the truth is the Akasha steals their dreams without them knowing it. And those spaces with no human presence are stolen dreams without their host. That would explain why they sounded so weird when he was trying to describe them. Huh. So people in Sumeru do dream after all. In fact, we're all in one big dream together right now. Correct answer. Now, how did you conclude that the Akasha is capable of this?
Guten Abend, Peewee. Ein seltener Gast. Läuft durch das göttliche Herz. Es vereint die Weisheit der Menschen.
It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace,
Und befähigt Menschen mit Wissen.
and it grants knowledge to the people.
Akasha läuft durch das göttliche
The
Herz.
Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate.
Die Bevölkerung kommt nach der Weisheit.
It is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power.
Es vereint die Weisheit der Menschen.
That doesn't sound right.
Mit befähigen Menschen mit Wissen?
That doesn't sound.
Okay. Das göttliche Herz.
That doesn't sound.
Wie ich es echt schaffe, Alter. Das verkörpert der Macht der Göttin der Weisheit.
Oh, okay. Those dream-controlling creatures in the forest also get their power from the Dendro Archon, right? That would explain why the Akasha has the ability to control people's dreams, too. But is stealing everyone's dreams really how the Akasha compiles their wisdom? Isn't there anything more to it than that? Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most active when they're dreaming. In other words, dreams are rich bundles of human wisdom. So, in other words, the complete opposite of how Hypatia understood it. Paimon remembers her saying that the sages think dreams are foolish delusions, and the fact that no one dreams is a blessing from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So it was all a dirty trick? The real story is that the sages from the academia are using the Akasha to steal people's dreams for their own use, huh?
Aber die Weißen scheinen sich nicht damit zu begnügen.
Oh? By the sounds of it, you understand the current situation pretty well. So then, what about the Samsara?
Das ist eine Band. Selten heißt besonders. Stimmt. Ich habe das Zusammensetzen auch nicht geschafft. Keine Ahnung, ich glaube, ich war da in Sherlock Holmes immer besser als hier. Geräusch von Akasha.
The beep is a prompt tone for Akasha operations. We still hear it every night, even though we removed our Akasha terminals.
Verschwinden des Verschwinden des auftauchenden Raums.
Those spaces kept disappearing before my eyes. But as soon as that beep sounded, many more spaces materialized.
Die Rede des großen Weisen.
The Grand Sage said, "Go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's content."
Ungewöhnliche geistige Erschöpfung.
My mind feels exhausted, even though I haven't done too much thinking. What is going on?
Samsara des Sub-Zero-Fests.
We've already experienced the Sub-Zero's festival many times, and the day of the festival seems to be in a perpetual samsara.
Warte, was ging's nochmal?
That doesn't sound.
War klar. Verschwinden und Auftauchen des Traums.
Those
Achso, hatte ich auch nicht.
dreamscapes kept vanishing, but as soon as that beep sounded, more new spaces appeared.
Hä? Hab ich das nicht vor den Garten? Nee, egal. Verschwinden des Auftauchens des Traums. Samsara Sub-Zero-Fest. Rede des großen Weißen. Warte, was? Was ist jetzt da dazugekommen? Massenproduktion der Träume.
Correct. The Akasha is keeping each person's brain in a constant dream state, but also separating their consciousness from their own dream. Their disembodied consciousness is placed inside the collective dream of the Sub-Zero's festival along with everyone else's, while their now vacant dreams are harvested by the Akasha. No one is any the wiser as another day passes in the dream, and so begins another samsara cycle. People wake up to yet another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival. The dreams that belong to them are once again harvested by the Akasha, and so it continues. So, this is like a dream factory, and the Akasha is a dream harvesting machine. Did Paimon get that analogy right? Very good, Paimon. Using analogies well is an excellent habit to get into. Okay, so that beep we keep hearing is actually from our real-life Akasha terminals. Taking off our terminals in this dream doesn't do anything. All right, last question. Who am I?
Oh mein Gott, das wissen wir überhaupt nicht. Kennst du Detektiv Conan? Klar kenne ich Detektiv Conan. Was wird denn das jetzt? Mond?
They say that alchemical divination is the Dendro-Archon's divine revelation. So then, if Nahida has referred to herself as the moon...
Ja, haben wir es doch schon.
So you noticed.
Du bist die niedere Herrin Kusanali.
I thought that one would be the hardest question. That's why I put it last.
Das ist die schwierigste Frage. Alter, ich wusste schon, wie wir dich das erste Mal... Ja gut, wir haben es ja gespoilert bekommen, aber das war ja fast klar. Selbst so.
That wasn't hard at all. Even Paimon guessed that. Everything about you is different. We just didn't want to expose you is all.
Deine Frage beantwortet, hihi. Hä?
Now that you mention it, Nahida, you've been hinting to us since the very beginning. It's funny, thinking back to when we were asking all over the place for info about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Paimon didn't expect to meet you like this.
Aber jetzt ist noch nicht der richtige Zeitpunkt dafür.
Yes, those can wait until we're back in real life. On the other hand, I'd be happy to answer any more questions you have about here and now.
Ja, ignorieren wir einfach, dass hinten dran die... Ich habe vergessen, wie die andere heißt, liegt und am Wegsterben ist. Warum kannst du uns nicht direkt die Wahrheit erzählen?
You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would literally blow your minds.
Ach so. Ich dachte, das ist auf deine Fragen ist das bezogen gewesen.
Now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should hopefully make more sense. Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Likewise, if someone suddenly had told you all this instead of you learning it on your own, your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't expose you to that kind of risk. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short, I'm really sorry I had to keep you guessing.
Warum kann es uns nicht... Können die Weisen das tun, ohne dass es jemand merkt?
Firstly, this dream we're in is completely based on reality. People have already experienced this Sub-Zero's festival, so it would be very difficult for them to find anything that strikes them as surreal. Secondly, you're probably wondering why people don't have any memories from earlier samsara, right? That's because people don't remember their dreams most of the time anyway. And in any case, their actual dreams are being taken away from them by the Akasha. So whenever they wake up in this dream of the Sub-Zero's festival, they don't remember anything from their previous identical dream. That reminds Paimon. Traveler had a dream when we were in the Avidia forest, but couldn't see what it was about after waking up. Is that an example of what you mean? Yes. Only after receiving the blessing of Dendro can a person gain the Dendro element's dream-enhancing power. That explains the feelings of déjà vu. Meanwhile, everyone else has no idea that they are in the Sub-Zero's festival samsara, while their dreams are stolen from them over and over again.
Was sind die Nebenwirkungen der massenproduzierten Träume?
Can humans really keep dreaming forever like this? Will it ever end? And if so, when? You might say your mental fatigue has already answered this question. Eventually, there's only so much that people can tolerate. Especially those whose health is compromised to begin with, like Dunyarzad. This people's lives are at stake here, and nobody knows a thing! We've got to put a stop to this!
Warum haben sie den Traum vom Sub-Zero-Fest gewählt?
I know, right? Why did they have to base this dream on my birthday? Could it really just be a coincidence? Even you don't know the reason? Wow, now that's strange. The Academia sages are determined to harvest lots of dreams in a short time, no matter the cost. They have to be up to no good. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about it. Traveler, do you have any information?
Rede des großen Weisen.
The grand sage said,
Ja, haben wir schon gehört.
Celebrate the birth of that god? Could it mean
Ich habe keine weiteren Fragen.
saving the people of Sumeru with no regard for their safety? No matter what they're trying to do, this is unforgivable. After we end the Sub-Zero's festival Samsara, we have to look into them. How can the sages of the Academia do this behind their Archon's back? This is ridiculous! In the end, I'm just the moon. The real sun is long gone. A sun and a moon? Nahida's talking in riddles again.
Nein, sie ist der Mond, dann wäre es wohl die Sonne.
Oh, we're out of time today. I'll tell you how to break free of the samsara tomorrow. See you then.
Bin gespannt, ob das irgendwie die kleine Schwester ist oder so. Ja. Dunja sah alles weg.
Nahida? Wait. Now that Paimon remembers everything, should we instead say good morning, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Oh oh.
Hey, what's wrong, Nahida? You don't look too good.
Wo ist Dunja?
I'm afraid that what you're thinking right now is correct. Did Dunyarzad already disappear? No way. Are we too late? The real Dunyarzad's consciousness has indeed disappeared. It can no longer endure the constant dream harvesting.
Immer ein Schritt zu spät.
Paimon can't believe it. Wait, so what about that other Dunyarzad? Just what is she? Is she also going to disappear? She's actually something like a puppet, but not completely. The real Dunyarzad's consciousness could no longer keep playing her role in this dream. So another Dunyarzad appeared to replace her in the dream. Just like the grass and the trees, that Dunyarzad is just a building block of the dream that helps to keep it going. But personality-wise, she's nothing like the real Dunyarzad. Puppets are stiff and can't copy a living person's vitality. After all, they're just there as filler. You know, speaking of which, the old Dunyarzad might not have been too different from a puppet. Dunyarzad truly believed that she met you within her consciousness, and it was you who inspired her. So you do remember her after all. Yes. Back then, her family was overly protective of her. No one cared about her personality or thoughts. It was as if she only lived to stall her Elazar. I just gave her a little wisdom so she could look at life in a new way. So that she could be her own person. But even so, she's still
Mir bedeutete das sehr viel.
far from it. I'm still a long way off from being a real Archon. I couldn't even save her. If I were a competent Archon, I wouldn't have let my most faithful follower die at the Sub-Zero's festival with so many regrets. Please don't beat yourself up over it, Nahida. It's the sage's fault, and theirs alone. I'm not beating myself up. All I did was to rationally observe the distance between myself and a real Archon. Don't be like that, Nahida. Even real Archons are still allowed to be sad. To prevent more tragedies like this, we must end the samsara as soon as possible. Great, but how do we do that? Although the Sub-Zero's festival dream is under the Akasha's control, only humans can dream. Even the Akasha is unable to create them. That means this dream belongs to a host who created it. Huh? So, how should we find that person? Well, if this is someone's dream, then everything here must come from deep within their consciousness. Which means, with the power of imagination, they can change anything in this dream. Imagination? What do you mean by that?
Imagination means breaking through what you perceive as normal. Like when the server at a tavern brings a plate to you, you'd naturally assume that food is on it. However, if you're the dream's host and you become aware that you're dreaming, when you imagine gold and more on the plate, the dream will respond in kind, and the server really will bring you gold and mora. But right now, our host is unaware that this is a dream. No matter how many times they're served, it will always be food.
Was sollen wir also tun, nachdem wir den Besitzer gefunden haben?
Find some way to make that person realize that they're dreaming. Usually, once that happens, the person will wake up and the dream samsara will be broken.
How are we going to find them, though? If it could be anyone, it'd be like looking for a needle in a haystack. And even if we did find them, how are we supposed to make them realize they're dreaming? After all, like you said, don't wake a sleepwalker.
It's extremely difficult, yes. But the only ones who can do it are you two. Remember, everything you've achieved up to this point has all been for the sake of finding the host and ending the samsara. As for me, during this time, I'll be out of town.
Out of town? Are you going to that place full of dreams where the traveler went?
Yes, I want to try something. There must still be a small wisp of possibility. Hurry and go. Dreams are supposed to be fantastical, romantic, and full of pleasant surprises. Unnecessary things like this samsara need to end.
Paimon's still a little upset that we've come this far only for Dunyarzad to... She was such a good person, with such a simple wish. But fate was against her.
Es fühlt sich an, als hätte ich die Motivation verloren.
Yeah. Saving Dunyarzad is what kept us going this whole time. But we mustn't lose hope, Traveler. Dunyarzad would definitely want to see us save everyone else. So let's break the samsara for her sake. Paimon's wondering, do you think the sages would get one of their own to be the host of this dream? Feels like it would be easier to control it that way, no?
Ich denke nicht. Wissenden wäre es leichter, Bewusstsein zu erlangen. Umgekehrt ist für einen Unwissenden schwer zu erkennen, dass es ein Traum ist. Für einen Wissenden wäre es leichter, Bewusstsein zu erlangen.
That's true. Plus, the sages probably weren't counting on there being other factors beyond their control. Like Nahida and us. So, who do you think the host of the dream is?
Könnte es der Blumenritter Fares sein?
Oh, that would make sense. Faris, the Knight of Flowers, is a symbol of the whole Sub-Zero's festival, right? Pretty core character. Let's go ask him some questions, shall we?
Okay.